My name is Inara Lalani, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Fem Therapeutics, and we're on a mission to bring personalized therapeutics to gynecology. For decades, the focus in gynecology has always been around fertility, and the healthcare sector often loses sight of mothers once the umbilical cord is cut, even though the consequences of pregnancy, labor, and delivery are lifelong. Over 1 billion women are currently experiencing menopause, with 50% struggling to manage their symptoms of pelvic organ prolapse and stress urinary incontinence. Not to mention other verticals in women's health, like maternal health, where 15 million women are at risk of delivering preterm due to cervical insufficiencies, and the oncology segment, where women are undergoing post-cancer therapy and vaginal reconstructive surgeries with off-the-shelf products that they use to minimize any scarring or tissue damage, and the menstrual and sexual wellness market, which remains quite untapped and changed over the last couple of decades. The problem we're really looking to solve here is the fact that the non-invasive solutions for a majority of these conditions that I've described are fit with off-the-shelf, one-fits-all devices. And everyone that's in medicine really knows that a one-shape-fits-all really fits no one. These devices come in symmetrical, geometric shapes and sizes. I mean, imagine something like children's toys where you kind of just pick and choose, like, I think this is a good fit, or I think that might work. Physicians typically tend to use, on average, 3 devices before a patient is successfully fitted with one. And again, the patients might come back a couple years after complaining of a fit that's too tight or too loose, causing displacement or bleeding, lacerations, open sores, you name it. So this is an untapped market. It's a $36 billion market right now in the US, where it's continuing to grow due to the geriatric population. And there's also a huge opportunity now with 3D printing advancements for medical applications. And that brings us to our mission at Fem Therapeutics, where we're building the first category of customizable gynecological prosthetics. So in 3 steps, we're able to measure each patient's vaginal canal through a digital pelvic exam. We're then able to design a vaginal canal in simulation to understand how their body works, and then fit a design for a prosthetic suited to their anatomy using our machine learning algorithms. And then we 3D print these devices with biocompatible silicone. And here's the first indication of our devices. This is our first prosthetic that's set to enter the market in 2024, indicated to manage the symptoms of prolapse and stress urinary incontinence, and designed to be inserted like the vaginal tampon to make this process seamless. To dive in a little bit deeper into our proprietary process, it really works in 3 steps, where first we develop a computer vision algorithm to design the prosthetic through clinically informed decisions. So we've studied CT and MRI scans to really understand how can we redesign these prosthetics to prevent it from displacing as the traditional prosthetics do on the market right now. And we understood that there was an opportunity to actually have these prosthetics rest on the lateral walls of the vaginal canal that are directly supported by the pelvic bones. So when pressure is applied from the top or through surrounding organs, the device actually expands towards the lateral walls, preventing displacement. So once the designs have been finalized, we then start the customization process for each patient. So we don't require digital imaging for each patient. Simply all the patient has to do is go to the physician's office. The physician will conduct a digital pelvic exam, which is the same as a manual exam. They'll use their fingers, they'll use certain tools that are available on the market to take 10 to 20 measurements for this particular patient, such as vaginal length, vaginal width. And then we take those measurements and actually create a simulation model for that patient, as you can see on the screen here. So this is a vaginal canal that we've constructed through literature review, studying cadaver scans and CT scans and MRI scans to really understand, the most real-life scenario, or realistic scenario for that patient, and how our prosthetic will perform for her. And then the last step is applying multi-dimension topology optimization to find the best dimensions for that prosthetic. And the result is what you can see on the bottom right here, where you can see it change based off of the measurements that were initially inputted into the simulation. Our business model is very simple. What I like to describe it as is the Invisalign model for gynecology. So same way that you typically would to go visit the dentist, they'd take a scan of your teeth, they design a prosthetic for you. We do just that without any type of scanners, making this process very affordable and accessible to a majority of the population that we're targeting. Selling this at $400 USD annually, and it is eligible under CPT codes for the measurement and the fitting process, and we are pursuing a cash pay model with HSA, FSA eligibility. The differentiation here is that there is currently no customized prosthetics in the market in gynecology, which I know must come as a shocker to most of you, considering that we have custom dental, custom orthotics, custom hearing aids, nothing in this space for women specifically. And so we're excited to be targeting pelvic floor disorders as our first market, with later expansion plans in the maternal health, oncology, and menstrual and sexual wellness markets as well. Our commitment to the UN SDGs is really the core values of why we created this business, starting with providing more equal innovation opportunities for women's health specifically, but also our commitment to reducing environmental waste as well. So reducing the need for disposable incontinence products like pads that is currently 60 million women in the US are using, and actually a fun statistic here is pads are currently being used more for the geriatric population than for babies for the first time ever in 2021. So we're really committed to reducing this number by 50% with our reusable model approach. In terms of traction, we've been around for 4 years, completed preclinical studies in our first-in-women feasibility study as well earlier this year that fit 3 patients successfully with our devices. And we're currently partnered with Mayo Clinic platform to gain access to over 3 million data points to further train our predictive models and understand the correlations between ethnicities, BMI, age, to find the most recommended pessary for that particular patient. Next step for us is to pursue a multi-site pivotal study that is scheduled to launch in Q1 of 2024, with FDA 510(k) approvals and Health Canada approvals targeted for Q3 of 2024. In terms of awards and recognition, we've raised about over $3.5 million to date with partners from strategic venture capital firms in New York, the Montreal General Hospital Foundation, and Mayo Clinic platform that is a proud investor in our business. And the people behind the team, we're very lucky to have been supported by such a fantastic network of individuals. My co-founders have a strong background in computer science and applying artificial intelligence in the field of medicine. And our third co-founder is a practicing urogynecologist at the Montreal General Hospital.